Hello, everybody. Am I good? I'm good. Hi, everybody, and welcome to an episode of Andy Makes a Friend, a follow up to the overview of the player's guide for Odyssey of the Dragonlords that I did a couple weeks ago. Was it last week even? No, it had to be 2 weeks ago because the Red Skies Over Cholt was last week. It's not important. Hi, everybody. I hope you are all well. Folks in chat, let me know if my volume is okay. And I hope everyone out there is doing well today. Let's see. So we went over a lot of the player's guide to Odyssey of the Dragonlords last time. There's still a couple things we have to go over. I want to go over the epic paths a little bit more in earnest. Talk about the spells. There aren't too many of them. The Oath of the Dragonlord, and there's a couple things at the end. And then I will talk about some character concepts you might play in here, including the one that I'll be playing. The at least a brief kind of a preview of them, because I don't have a lot. I don't have all of it figured out, and I don't want to spoil. We will have a session 0 coming up on a Sunday morning that I hope folks can join us for. So let's start with this. If you weren't here last time, Odyssey of the Dragonlords is a ancient Greek-inspired setting for 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. The player's guide is free on DriveThruRPG, and it comes with a brief overview of the world, creating heroes in it, races, and then one archetype, one subclass for each of the main classes, everything but the Artificer. You could play with just this book, certainly from a player point of view. DMs could buy a more in-depth book. There's a campaign book you could purchase if you are interested in that. But otherwise, this has enough kind of basics set down that you could go from here if you wanted to create your own thing. You'd have to fill in a lot of details. But basic history, pantheon, and a map is done for you. So if that's the kind of, and kind of a flavor. So if that's the kind of thing you like, you can just go from there. So let's talk about the epic paths. So I kind of skimmed them. I kind of breezed over them last time. So let's see. Epic paths are an optional addition to character creation. One of the recurring themes of ancient Greek myths is that many heroes are born of the gods. Pardon me. Epic paths are designed to give players mythic archetypes for their heroes, so they feel like divinely touched figures such as Hercules, Achilles, Odysseus, or Theseus. Bunch of jerks. Let's see. You pick one. It doesn't replace background, it supplements background. And if you complete your goals, you get a divine blessing. And magic items. Okay. And here's something important, I think, because I think as written, they're a little corner case. And here's something that is important. Epic paths should not diminish player agency. Players are free to peruse the story hooks presented in each path in any way they deem appropriate. They are also free to modify an epic path with the agreement of the GM. The GM should take care when modifying magic items for adventure balance, That makes sense. Um... Monstrous races. All of the playable races in this setting are difficult. Well, is that helpful? Why'd you create it like that then? Okay. So I swear somewhere it said that everybody had to pick their own, but I don't see that. Oh, hey Garrett, it's Ramrod Dude is in chat. It's Ramrod Dude will be GMing this campaign for us, which is very exciting. Last campaign was Beyond the Wall with me, Marty, and Cece, and that was a heck of a lot of fun. And yeah, he messaged me and he was like, "How about this?" And I was like, "Sounds awesome." So this time it will be me, Marty, Cece, and we will be joined by Liz and Timothy, which is very exciting. And we'll be doing this for as long as it goes on. It might be broken into seasons. We'll see how everything, or arcs kind of thing. We'll see how it all plays out, but it's really exciting. I'm excited anytime I get to be a player. I absolutely adore being a dungeon master. Okay. Sorry. I'll address that in a second. I love being a dungeon master. I am perfectly happy to be the forever dungeon master. But it is really nice to be able to get to play. Partially because it's just fun. It's fun to not have to worry as much about being in charge of the planning and all that stuff. You can just, what happened last time? Cool. Make a couple notes, bring your dice. So that's it's just nice, and it's important for dungeon masters to play every once in a while. You have to remember what it's like to be a player. It is different. Now, I've been dungeon mastering for a long time. I don't get to play a lot, so when I do play, I really try and savor it, I guess. Make the most of it. I don't think I'm a particularly great player character, but that's partially because I don't get to do it all that much, so I'm out of practice. Let's see. Marty said in chat that he thinks, and Garrett can confirm this in chat if he'd like, that one epic path per player, unique one per player was asked for by Garrett specifically, and that does make sense. Yeah, I think there's one path that you could probably, I think in my opinion, the Lost one. I think that's the one where you're not from here. I think you could very easily have this one be multiple players in one group. You might be from the same ship, you might not be. Maybe one of you has been here a day, the other one's been here 2 years or something like that, and you're just like, yep, it's what it is. You two sucks, don't it? Okay, so let's talk. So the cursed one. So let's talk about the epic paths. The cursed one. You come from a great family that has been cursed for centuries, owing to the actions of one of your distant ancestors who angered the Titans. Whatever the nature of your curse, the stigma has haunted you for all your life. Wherever you go, you are shunned by the ignorant and the superstitious. As a result, you have felt like an outsider for all your life. You know that as long as you remain cursed, you will be incapable of living a full life. Moreover, you are not sure that your family or tribe will survive for another generation unless you can find a way to lift the curse. So some of them have restrictions. This has none. It gives you examples of people like this. Project Cadmus from Justice League Unlimited. That's not what it is. And then you have to do your best to complete these. And so, you the big ones to end your family's curse. Find an artifact. You pick one lesser, one greater. And then when you do all of that, you and your family are directly immune. You and your family, you and your direct family, are immune to curses, diseases, and the poisoned condition. Now, the interesting thing is this one specifically says, hey, if you're a monstrous race, you might be a cursed one. The weird thing is, if you're a Medusa and you end your curse, you're not a Medusa anymore. You're a human. Which, I mean, obviously, build that into your backstory. If you want to be a Medusa the whole game, don't be a cursed one. But it might also be like the last thing you do. We had a no, that didn't end up happening. There was a warlock in one of my home games who they essentially ended up switching their patron. But there was a chance they would lose their warlock patron, and then we'd have to figure out, well, what do you do with 11 levels in warlock you're not using anymore? And I think they would have probably just gone sorcerer because they were also a sorcerer multi-class. We would have figured it out. Okay. The demigod. You are a mortal child of Pythor, or Pytor, the god of battle. I like that it's just like, you're this one. He's the Zeus. He's the one who's got all the kids. Your temper is legendary. From an early age, you demonstrated unnatural talent in everything that interests you. You've never met your father. Yep. But your mother was a woman famed for her both beauty and skill as a harpist. She was carried away by a green dragon when you were very young. Well, that sucks. And then you were raised to be a champion of Mitros. Favorite child of the city, and the bards already sing great songs of your great deeds. As a Ute, the oracle predicted a great destiny, one in which you might be able to join the pantheon alongside your father. Marty and Garrett are talking about the Medusa's curse, which is Medusa aren't born except when they are, because that's what the guidebook says. So then, if a born Medusa is uncursed, does it turn back into a baby? These are the questions. Guess we'll find out when we play, says Liz. Okay. You might be able to join the Pantheon alongside your divine father, who has recently fallen into despair and drunkenness. The weird thing is, you can just go see him. He's physically on the planet. You just go to the city he's in charge of. According to the Oracle, Pytor can be brought back from his drunken oblivion if you are able to achieve the 3 great labors that defeated him. You must find your mom, defeat his greatest foe, and finish building his greatest weapon. Now everyone in chat's talking about my poor giant dead baby from Beyond the Wall. Amelia was a good witch. Great. The DM's already made me a giant dead baby again. I'm a lion man. Okay. This is very much obviously inspired by Heracles and Kratos. Find your mother. You can just use this name or name created for you. Defeat Pythor's greatest foe, that green dragon who stole your mom. And finish building his greatest weapon. Choose either a rod of lordly might. It's very Marvel's Hercules. Or a luck blade. And then when you do this, your con score increases by 2, and it can go over the max of 20, so it can go to 22. Okay. First of all, I think this is... Pythor was known to take many forms, bedding both mortals and the native races of Thalia. As one of the monstrous races, you are unlikely to be a champion of Mitros. Instead, you are a champion of the druids from the... Oh, okay. I thought it was saying for a second that Pythor wouldn't have any monstrous kin, and I'm like, that's bullshit right there. Gods have monster babies left and right. I actually thought... I briefly considered... pitching the idea that I'm going to play a Leonin, which are the lion people from Theros, and I was thinking of at some point it being a rumor perhaps, but I think I've stepped away from this idea, that his father is Pythor and his mother is the Chimera. Yeah. Marty says almost exclusively do they have monster children, and just ask Poseidon, the woke one. Marty and I decided a long time ago that Poseidon was the woke Greek god. I don't remember why. We had a reason. I can't remember what it is. I think it's just that he has a bunch of monster kids. It's just like, yeah, it takes all kinds. Got blue hair. Makes sense. But anyway, yeah, I thought about pitching. He's the son of Pythor and the Chimera. But yeah, we could have been sibling soup. But I didn't want to step on your toes partially. But I thought maybe it would be interesting if it was a rumor but I also didn't want to be like, you're the only Leonin. Like, it's just me. I'm a monster among monsters. I was like, kind of want to just be not from here. But I could also be talked back into it if that's something that appeals to you, CC/anyone else. So, okay. The Doomed One. You come from a famous and distinguished family with ancestors that include Dragonlords and gods. However, you have the misfortune of being born under a fell astrological sign, one that portended a doom of epic proportions. Your parents died short... Oh, okay. Okay. Wow, hurtful. I shipwrecked here. Thank you. Marty's calling me a trespasser. Shipwreck. It was very hurtful. My ship was called the Unsinkable. There's a priest who never shut up on it. Always real downer. Dog called Happiness. It's a real bad situation. Didn't do much priesting. Probably could have saved us all. Let's see. Your parents died shortly after you were born. Wow, that sucks. All your life you've been plagued by ill luck, I'd say. You've suspected that your death will be as ugly as it is spectacular. I have another idea that I don't really want to spoil because I want to talk to Garrett about it first, but I have another idea that doesn't preclude the former, but I have an idea about something else that I think I've kind of decided I like a little bit better. Again, it doesn't preclude the former, so we'll see. Okay, you're doomed. You're doomed. You're Raven, or Achilles, or Elric. If you save yourself, you save the world. Save the Doomwind. Save the To defeat the creature that has been fated to kill you. To forge one artifact that will protect you from your doom. These items provide resistance to all damage that originates from the creature that is fated to kill you. If you gain a bonus 1 to all of your ACs. Oh, and if you're one of the monstrous races, not a Dragonlord, that was your dad. It was a Titan. Sorry, Marty. It says you're doomed. I'm just saying. You picked it. The Dragon Slayer. You have a tragic past. Something terrible happened to you when you were young, and it forced you to reckon with the darkness within much sooner than anyone should even have to. Adventurers. This tragic event shaped your identity and drove you to become who you are today. You know that it was a dragon who was responsible for destroying your childhood. The dragon might have razed your village to the ground, or it might have ruined your life in a more insidious way while polymorphed into a person. Either way, you wish to discover the identity and location of the dragon, so that you can seek it out and exact brutal vengeance upon it. For players who love Perseus or Turambar, who's an elf from Lord of the Rings, or from the Simmer. He's Tolkien. A Tolkien elf. I looked him up earlier. I don't. Apparently, he has a really tragic backstory. If Timothy or Marty were here, I'm sure they could elaborate on it. But the Oracle knows how to find the dragon. So you got to kill that dragon and find items that are key to killing dragons. Pick a lesser and a greater, so you can get an armor of resistance. Presumably of the type that the dragon is, so fire for red dragons. Yeah. Blessing of dragon slaying. You advantage on all. Yeah, they're really. Liz, those pesky dragons always raising villages and carrying off people's moms. It's apparently quite frequent. You're ruining my life, dragon, says Soup. And it's a real problem, says Marty. Yeah. And then you become a dragon slayer, basically, as your divine blessing. That's pretty cool. Okay. Okay. The gifted one. Let me get a drink of water. Okay. The gifted one. Ever since you were a child, you've shown remarkable promise, effortlessly mastering every activity you've attempted. You have no explanation, but most people assume that you must have divine blood flowing through your veins, as you are from a common or barbarian family. You have been the target of seething envy from the children of nobility and the wealthy who believe you do not deserve your gifts. Okay, hurtful. You've therefore spent most of your life proving your worth. You want to achieve fame and fortune and have your name remembered down the ages. And that mostly you want to become a Dragonlord. Okay, if you could find... This would be good for the Dragonlord Paladin to pick, I think. Mostly you want to become a Dragonlord. If you could find a dragon egg and successfully hatch it, you could join the list of legendary heroes that are still remembered after 500 years. The Call of the Oracle has given an opportunity to prove your worth for players who love Jason from Jason and the Argonauts and Daenerys. native to Thylia. So you have to find the fortress of the Dragonlords, and it's an instant magical fortress, magical item instant fortress. To attune with one of the crowns of the Dragonlords, allow you to cast spells, a couple spells. Okay, those are important for bonding with dragons. We talked about that a little bit last time, and we'll go forward when I talk about the spells again. So this has a lot of overlap with the Oath of the Dragonlord Paladin. Paladins probably shouldn't choose the... Yeah, but I mean, then you're like... I don't know. But it's easier then. Yeah, you get similar powers, but I mean... You automatically... But then think about how much quicker you're getting the Divine Blessing. I think you do get that power, but it doesn't matter. I have not watched the most recent season of Unsleeping City yet. I'm looking forward to it, but I got into a Game Grumps hole, so I've been doing a lot of that, and I had to get caught up on The Mandalorian today, and all my podcasts come in on Mondays, so okay. Next up, The Haunted One, which is ironically a background name as well. You were in possession of the rarest treasure in Thylia, a truly happy life. You had a loving partner, beautiful children, and lived in a great house in the city of Mitros. As the first child of a powerful family with godly lineage, you were destined to be the next ruler of Mitros. Then one day, everything changed. You returned home to find your house cold and empty. Your friends and neighbors have no memory of your family, almost as if they never existed. For a while, you struggled against insanity. Now you've resolved to find your family, whatever the cost. You'll travel to the ends of the earth and fight the gods themselves if needed. You'll do whatever it takes to bring back the people you love, even if everyone thinks you're crazy. For players who love Orpheus and Harry Potter. Everybody remembers James and Lily. But no, yeah, mostly the same. Let's see. Yeah, one of the, and this is not a complaint, but one of the things about that I don't love about Dropout, I mean, it's a slight complaint, but it's not a big complaint, is you can't listen at fast speeds, because I listen to everything at 1.5 or 2x speed. So it feels slow even when it's not, because I enjoy it. So it's just like, just watch it. It's an hour. It's an hour and 45 minutes. Like, it's never, it's never so bad. And if they uploaded more of them to YouTube, that'd be nice. But then you do have to deal with, they bleep swearing. Not that I really care about that, but because sometimes it's funnier when it's bleeped. But other times it'll be such a long chain of bleeps that you're just like, I don't even know what's happening anymore. Specifically when they're mad at Brendan. Okay, anyway, so you got to save your family that nobody believes you ever had. To be reunited with your family, to reclaim your family name and legacy by tracking down your family artifacts. You pick a lesser and a greater. Oh, wow. You have advantage on saving throws against spells. No, I said I don't. I said I don't care. I want my 2x speed. That's what I want. 1.5. If I've listened to it before, I can do 2x. Otherwise, it's basically always 1.5. I was once trying to get through a book on Audible that I just didn't like, and I was so close to the end that I think I cranked it to 3, and that it's almost indecipherable. But I was just like, I just want to finish this book. Um, the Lost One. You hail from a distant land where your people worshipped foreign gods and spoke languages unknown to the people of Thylia. You sailed in search of the fabled treasures of the Dragonlords, but your ship and most of your crew were destroyed in a storm. Found by fishermen and brought to the city of Mitros, you discovered that your arrival had been prophesized by the Oracle. It's like, yes, it's like the Micro Machine dude. I don't know why I fucking love swearing, I guess. Let's see. Found by fishermen, brought to the city. You discovered that your arrival had been prophesized by the Oracle. You may not believe in any of the Oracle's prophecies, but one thing is for certain. You've never seen the Micro Machines commercial? The Micro Machines commercial guy talked really fast. Really fast, CC. You may not believe in any of the Oracle's prophecies, but one thing is for certain. You are somehow stranded on Thalia's shores, and your fate is now here. If the Oracle believes that you are one of the chosen few, then you must do what you can to help. For players who love Narnia or The Wizard of Oz. Must be an explorer. Yeah, but as established, I'm also I like old things. Not that the Micro Machines thing is that old, but Marty's got a name. John Howard. How do you say that? I could go so many different. Mosquita Jr. Yeah, I also watched a lot of I Love the 80s things growing up. It's thank you. My new favorite joke that Marty does is in chat when I don't know how to pronounce something, he'll just type "it's pronounced," spell the word. Thank you so much. That's such a good joke. Okay. Let's see. Heroic task: find your surviving crew members, find a way to get back home, find the fabled treasures of the Dragonlords, worth a crap ton of money, and one of the following items. Blessing of Luck. You may reroll any one attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. You must use the second roll. Okay, you get luck. But weird. You can only use it once every couple of days. Oh. The Vanished One. You were one of the Dragonlords, the legendary outside explorers who first discovered Thylia. Okay, first discovered, hurtful. There were definitely things here. You were present when the tiny settlement of Mitros was founded, but you've been missing for almost 500 years. During an expedition into the Cerulean Gulf, you fell victim to the irresistible charms of a nymph named Versi. You spent the last 500 years in a waking dream, trapped in her cave with no knowledge. Sorry, I meant creatures. I couldn't remember who was just Titans, but then I remembered that the Titans did make creatures, humanoids. So I panicked. Trapped in her cave with no knowledge of time passing or events on the mainland. Versi released her hold on you when you were called by fate to save Thalia, but she made you swear an oath to return to her once your quest is completed. Versi sounds like a real jerk. Versi is known as the Oracle by most... Oh. Well, the Oracle sounds like a real jerk. I thought the Oracle was the daughter of the Lord of the Storms. Is she a nymph? I guess so. And then the time that you spent with Versi, you can't do any. You're level 1 again. You're not getting away with it. But I was a Dragonlord. I should be a level 15 character. Nope. For players who love Odysseus, Captain America, sorry. Restrictions must be an explorer from a distant land. Okay. I guess. Okay, yeah, whatever. I guess that's what the Dragonlords are. It's just weird because they're not anymore. But anyway, heroic task. To find if you have any descendants to reclaim your title as a Dragonlord. In order to do this, you must attune with one of the crowns of the Dragonlords. Find a dragon egg. To get back your fabled armor, choose one item of the following list. Lots of good stuff. And it says if you're that paladin, don't pick this one. And you get the same divine blessing as the other one. Okay, and those are the epic paths. So I think I personally am going to pick the lost one, I think. I mean, that might change. We've talked about it a little bit. How what can and can't what my character may and may not be. So that's the epic paths. So let's talk about the spells. One thing I got wrong. Let me say this because I was watching it back and I realized I got a couple things wrong just because I was just skimming through. But I got something wrong about the bard that I want to correct because I got it real wrong. And I was like, this is hard. Pardon all my scrolling. I thought you had to pick one of these. It's anytime any of these happen, you get to add to your verse. So that's a lot easier. Okay. There was something else I think I got wrong, but don't take my word for it. Read it yourself. Okay, sorry. Let me just... Here we go. There's only a couple spells. So there's the new spells list. Telling you what classes get what. Okay, so the first one is Animal Polymorph. This spell transforms a creature you can see within range into a new beast form. An unwilling creature must make a wisdom save. Let's see. Okay, so it's just a lesser polymorph, basically. The new form can be any beast of CR1 that does not have a fly, or less that does not have a fly speed. While in this new form, the target is charmed by you and views you as an ally, and you can command it. Okay, so you can... okay, so okay, interesting. So it's a polymorph charm. You make something into not a great creature, a beast of CR1 or less, but I think a bear is in there. You make it into a bear, and you have control over it. Okay. Pretty good. And it turns an enemy into an ally. We talked about Bond of the Dragonlords last time, but you permanently bond with a newly hatched metallic dragon. And you have to spend time nurturing it like a Pokemon egg. And then you get a metallic dragon. Yeah, and it just lets you use it as a mount. Casting time 1 minute. That seems low. But yeah, you control a dragon. It's got a bunch of rules. Make sure you read it if you're gonna use it. Dirge of the Dragonlords lets you return a dead dragon that has bonded to you with Bond of the Dragonlords back to life. Which is good because if your bonded dragon dies, you will also die within 24 hours unless you return it back to life. Yeah, I mean, it's resurrection for dragons. Pretty good. Fate Binding, a necromancy spell. 1 action, duration an hour. Verbal only. Anytime you can't use your hands or have a wand. Choose 2 creatures that you can see. Both creatures must make charisma saving throws, and they do so with advantage if they are hostile to you. If a creature is charmed by you, it is a disadvantage on the save. If both creatures fail their save, then their fates are now bound together. Whenever one of the creatures takes damage, the other takes an identical amount of damage. Jeez. Unless both creatures took damage from it, like a fireball. Whenever one of the creatures regains hit points, the other creature regains an identical number. The 2 remain fate-bound for the duration, even if they're on different planes. So, I mean, yeah, you fate bind 2 big bad guys together, and then the rogue goes ham on one of them, or a paladin does. Then you're just smashing both of them. I mean, they got to fail charisma saves with advantage. That's rough. But if you can set it up to charm them first, and then do that, and then you break the charm, like you could set up a combo. And it would be pretty deadly. Nothing at higher levels, though. So you can't target... Sometimes, you can target more creatures. None of these have higher level effects so far. Interesting. Okay. Seeds of Death. You throw 3 Minotaur teeth on the ground in front of you. And then they turn into Minotaur skeletons. Okay. Yeah. You can use a bonus command action to shout commands at the Minotaur skeletons. Okay, well, we can hear you. No need to shout. Rude. Your commands must be general, such as attack that enemy or guard the room. Okay. Yeah. Very specific, but neat. You get some Minotaur skeletons under your control for 10 minutes. Okay. Sleeping Draught. This is called pulling a Harryhausen, yes. Where are you going to get the Minotaur teeth? Let's see. Sleeping Draught. You open a draught and a purple mist flows from you to a target creature. Roll 9d8. If the target creature has fewer current hit points than the total, then it falls unconscious. Okay, so it's sleep. And then if the target creature has more hit points than the rolled total, then it becomes drowsy and its speed is halved. It can't take reactions and it can't take more than 1 melee attack. And then it remains drowsy until it takes damage. So, okay, it's an upgraded version of sleep. Because it has an effect on if it didn't work. So pretty good. Let me take a look at sleep for a second. Sleep. Whew. Okay, so it only affects 1 creature. It has much less range. Okay, yeah. It's a different version of sleep. it's going to be better on bosses and single targets, but you're not going to knock out like 5 goblins. You get 1. Okay. The Sword of Fate. Choose a creature. Man, a lot of these spells are not concentration. They just last. Choose a creature you can see. You create an illusionary, I would say illusory, sword that hangs above the creature's head. Everyone within line of sight can see the sword except for the affected... What? What's going on? Everyone can see the sword except for the affected creature. What? What's wrong? Ooh. Fred, you got a sword over your head. What are you talking about? When you cast the spell, you must shout out one of the following conditions. You cannot harm us. The target creature breaks this condition if they target the spellcaster or a companion with an attack or a spell that causes damage. You cannot use magic. The target creature breaks this if they cast a spell. You cannot leave this area. The target breaks this condition if they move more than 30 feet. If the target creature breaks the condition, it takes 10d8 slashing damage as the blade becomes real and slices downward. If the target is reduced to 0 hit points, then one of its head is removed. If the creature has no remaining heads, then it is instantly killed. Yep, okay. The Sword of Fate can be dispelled or removed cursed. Remove cursed. That's a cool one. And it's an illusion attack spell. Always good to have some of those. Okay, Theogenesis, a level 9 spell. Casting time an hour. Okay. Ooh. Theogenesis is a powerful spell that is used to place a divine spark into a mortal creature, unlocking the potential to ascend to godhood. The artifacts are not consumed when the spell is cast, and that's good because there's a lot of them and they're probably important. But the offerings are, and the offerings are worth at least 10,000 gold. Choose a single target non-divine creature for the spell. You must remain in contact with the target for the duration of the casting, so an hour. If the contact is broken, both you and the target take 20d6 radiant damage. And the spell is cast and has no effect, and all that money is up in smoke. So don't move your hand. If the spell is successfully cast, then one of the greater gods must decide whether or not to grant the divine spark. The creature's relationship with the god determines its chance of success, and the base chance is 0. Each of the bonuses are cumulative. Shares at least one alignment axis. So, if it's lawful, chaotic, or neutral, or evil, good, or neutral. If it's so, let's say I'm lawful good, and I appeal to a lawful neutral god. We have one alignment axis, not 2. The target has the same exact alignment as the greater god. Okay. The target has faithfully worshipped a god in the same pantheon for at least a year. The target has faithfully worshipped the greater god for at least a year. Okay, so 20, 40, 60. So you can get up to 90. Failure means that the greater god decides not to grant the divine spark. The greater god can't be chosen again if the spell is cast on the same target. Okay, flip through the Rolodex. Success means that the target has been permanently granted a divine spark. It can be only removed with a wish spell. Now, there are no rules for what a divine spark does. I know because I use divine sparks in my game. So I wonder if there is either rules in the rulebook or it's just supposed to be vague and maybe it's part of a quest or something like that. But yeah. Okay. Here is the Oath of the Dragonlord. Swearing during the casting of the spell. Okay. I'm not gonna be able to stand. I am fittingly wearing my Green Lantern shirt, and it has the oath on the back. Let's see. The oath must be spoken in Draconic, while a magic item is sacrificed. Okay. I cannot possess you, for you belong to yourself. I cannot command you, for you are a free creature. We shall ever serve each other in the ways we both require. We will increase our wealth by righteous means. We will achieve happiness and harmony through knowledge. We will aid those of our blood to achieve their great destinies. We will avenge those of our blood who have been done harm. I am blood of your blood and bone of your bone forever. And then you become the dragon's oath sworn. Like this. Okay. Then there's a little world primer that reminds you of a lot of the lore stuff that we've talked about. Has all the gods' names. Has info on the Dragonlords. Has info on the gods. Fine, they're in alphabetical order. Thank you. These aren't. Okay. Oracle's a water nymph named Versi. She is a prophet. And then the three. Who am I? So I might actually print this to keep here with me. You couldn't see me gesture. I gestured at my desk. Or I guess I could just have it open on my laptop because I tend to have. I play with many screens. Okay. Can I remember the green? It's in brightest day and blackest night. No evil shall escape my sight. Beware my power, Green Lantern's light. I feel like I'm missing a part of it. And I used to know Alan Scott's. Oh boy, do I not know it now. Brightest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern's light. And what's Alan Scott's oath? That can't be right. And I shall shed my light over dark evil, for the dark things cannot stand the light of the Green Lantern. Is that true? I thought it was. I don't remember it being like that. Oh, yeah, okay. I like Alan Scott. Okay. If I die before I wake, yep. So, and then there's a little bit right here about mythic heroism. So what what's it all about? What makes a person a mythic hero? Gods and kings, oaths and curses, fame and hubris, fate and prophecy, and comedy and tragedy, which is something I trying to put in all of my games. Comedy and tragedy. The highest of highs and the lowest of lows. I want to make you laugh and then be mad at me. Here is the constellations. like real constellations, they don't look anything like what they're supposed to look like. Oh, that one actually looks like a person. No, pardon me. But yeah, like the bard. Yeah, totally. So I like these boats. Okay, and then a very nice looking character sheet at the back. This very much reminds me of like Elric of Melniboné. But a very cool looking character sheet. Kill your printer, just absolutely murder it. But and then here's a map of the Heartlands, which is another good thing. I might like cut pages out of the player's guide to make it even smaller, so I can have like kind of a quick notes section, so, you know, like the maps and the quick guide, and maybe the epic path I pick, and my class kind of thing. Okay, so that's that. If anybody has any questions I can answer, let me know. I will do my best to answer them. And then otherwise, I'm going to talk about my character ideas briefly. Okay. Go to studio mode. Sorry. Okay. I didn't set this up beforehand, so I gotta quick make a D&D Beyond. Screen. Okay, hold on. Let me pull open my character. Okay, that's just gonna have to be good enough. Oh, crap. There we go. Okay. Transition. Seamless, was it not? It only took me 5 minutes of fumbling. Okay. So, hopefully you can see most of that sheet. Okay, so here is the character I am going to be playing. Like I said, backstory's not totally worked out yet, but the basics of it are he is a lion man named Kyros Nikolios Kritodemus the Lion Slayer. And I was inspired by get out, there we go. I was inspired by oh crap. They were PDFs I purchased earlier. In a massive sale at Goodman Games. I'll talk about that at the end probably. So my idea was basically, if Hercules is the lion slayer, he slays lions. What if it was, capital L, lion slayer? He is a lion who slays. And Theros had just come out recently. I don't know when it's come out fairly recently, and they have the lion men in there. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So yeah, I built a barbarian. I plan to do Herculean path. I plan to do the Lost one. So far, if we can talk to Garrett and figure out a way to make him not that, that'd be cool with me too. I don't really have an idea of where he'd be from. I don't know much about Theros. I own the book on D&D Beyond. I could read through it. But that might take a lot. So I might just have him be, from a really generic homebrew. And the other thing about having him be from Theros, it's like he's going from one sort of Greek setting to another sort of Greek setting. So it's like, is that a big enough change to kind of make that weird or fun? Although I think Leonin's deal in Theros, the bit I did read about them, is that they don't like the gods. Like, they acknowledge that they're divine, but they're like, ye just metal and we hate it. So that would be kind of good going here to be like, oh, I'm away from all those pesky, oh, here too? Fucking here too? Oh, and you're just walking around. Great. So that could be fun. But yeah, I mean, he's a barbarian. Strong, quick, tough, not smart. Very stereotypical. I've thought about a couple different ways to play him. Himbo is always a good option. I also thought kind of the fuck around and find out barbarian from Philus Delphius. So I haven't really decided. I think he will be protective no matter what. Of his new pack, tribe, friends, herd, pride alliance, right? Yeah. So I think he'll be protective, and that's kind of all I have so far. I have a couple different ideas for rumors. We're going to establish rumors, but yeah, I'm open to suggestions. One, but two, yeah, I'm just going to play what feels right with him. I think I don't know much about the other characters yet, personality-wise, so I'd have to see where they fit in from there. So he is who I am playing. I have created some backup characters just in case. Hopefully I won't need them. Barbarians are tough to kill, but not impossible. And if he's not very smart, maybe he will do something stupid that gets him killed. But 15 hit points at level 1's pretty good. Pretty good. I've only ever had one character personally die. It was a first level rogue who got his head smashed in by a bugbear. But he was a rogue. He did not have 15 hit points. I think he had 8. And took like 17 points of damage. So even if I took 17 points of damage, I'd just be knocked out. And if I'm raging, not even. So yeah. So other characters I had thought of. Let's see. Hold on a second. I mean, I can switch to the paladin if folks would prefer a secondary healer as well. So here's some other characters I thought of. One, Archimedes, just straight up Archimedes. He's an artificer. He's a crazy old man inventor. I don't know what I built him, and then I was immediately like, I don't know if this is a good. I don't know how artificers work. I read them and I was like, got it. And then I keep like thinking like, oh wait, did they use hand crossbows or light cross? I gotta really read artificers before I play them. Which is one of the reasons why he's not my main character. It's just a backup idea. But I did think it would be fun to kind of have a crazy old inventor man. But yeah, he is built to be pretty tough, as he would be replacing a tank. Is he the toughest? No, I'd have to see, obviously. I mean, look, if something kills the barbarian, I probably won't play an artificer as the backup. I'll probably be like, well, I'm bringing a different barbarian or a paladin. Like, what did we get into? Hopefully they won't die, but you never know. And it was just fun I like noodling at characters, and these kind of popped into my head before. Some of them were after I picked the barbarian, but other ones I was noodling with before I decided on the barbarian. Here was another one. This was a Tiefling Paladin. Dragonlord. I just thought, kind of interesting to... when I pre-ordered, Tasha's Guide, so I have new backgrounds and stuff. You can get, this is kind of cool. Hold on. I feel like I'm all over the place today, but you get an animated cauldron bubbling. Or Spirit Shroud. Or just a 4x4. Dragon Tattoo. Yeah, there's some cool stuff. And then class frames as well. So she's a paladin. There we go. Anyway, I thought because tieflings are kind of they're seen as devil folk. The idea that now I'm going to be a dragon lord. Maybe if the dragon lords were old descendants and stuff like that, like maybe she could be the descendant of one of them. I don't have many ideas for her yet. I just like that dragon lord paladin is real rad, and I was like, I'll just put this in my back pocket just in case. And then the last one I made was Celine. I gotta change her name because she's the third backup. Although I think I'd actually probably play her if Kyros dies. I think I would probably stick with her. So Celine, a satyr, a Thylian satyr, worshipping the Lady of Dreams, Titan. Lutheria, Mistress of Death. Twilight Cleric, because I think those are cool. And just picked Satyr because they describe her in the book as this revelry goddess, and I thought Satyr fit. And actually, I think it would have tied well into Marty's character, who I know a little bit about. In the backstory I've read, says she knew satyrs and was friends with them, and maybe they were friends, and it could have also presented an interesting dichotomy if Marty's character is kind of sweet and innocent, and this character is a little more debauched and like the devil on her shoulder kind of bit. Let's just party, come on. And party clerics are fun. So I think she's fun, and even if I don't play her here anyway, I think I would play her in the future. I'd had to pick a different god for her, but yeah. Already satyrs smell like ball sacks and nachos. Yeah, and that was if I need to get a backup, this is an instant way in, which is always good when you need that. Again, hopefully, I'm really excited about Kyros, so I hope nothing bad happens to my sweet little lion boy. He's got a lot of names because I always think that's fun. Nicolias is my cat's Nico plus lion. And Critodemus I found on a random generator, and I was like, that's fun. It's crit and demon or god, depending on how you translate that. And then it says the Lion Slayer after that. Kyros, I like that name, but I did realize today it's very close to one of the gods' names, Kira. So I might change that, but I've already started to address him in my head as Kyros, and that's hard to break. That's hard to break for me. Because I've been thinking about it a lot, and I'm excited. I'm really excited to play him. So yeah, like I said, barbarian, outlander background, nothing crazy. The Leonins, so their thing is they have a speed of 35, which is always good, especially because barbarians get faster as they rage. Let's see. Claws deal a D4 instead of just a punch damage. You can roar as a bonus action once per short rest. Creatures of your choice within 10 feet must succeed on a whiz save or become frightened. So a little mini dragon roar on a bonus action is pretty great. And I think that's... Oh, and then I got a skill, which I picked survival. And I purposefully did not pick... So the skills I picked are acrobatics, athletics, insight, intimidation, and survival. I might change insight just because I kind of just want him to be an idiot. So I might change it to animal handling. But I also thought, like, most animals aren't going to want to... He's a lion. Like, if they have lions here, they're going to be like, no, this thing has hands, and it's a lion. I'm not getting close to it. So I think that was my justification of he doesn't have animal handling. But I also do like insight of just like he just knows how to read people. It's just like there's no duplicity to him. Soup CC in chat is saying if I go that one of my parents was a god, yeah, it could be that I'm named after Kira, even though she is not my mother. She would be Pytor's sister. So could do that. And then being named after a god is classic. But yeah, I'm not from here. So if I was from here, I probably would have been like, yeah, he's just named after the god of music, even though he's this giant strong man. But yeah, then again, I had also thought maybe he was sent away as a youth. He is from here. He just doesn't know it. Like I also thought of that. So that would explain maybe he is named after Kira and he just doesn't like, yeah, but also like Kiros, like they're not like, it's not the same name. I don't think it would be confusing even. Especially because Kira might be pronounced Kyra. And I could say his name is Kairos. I even change it to Chiros. Kairos. I like that too. Damn it. Now I hate picking. You write down Kairos just in case. Okay. So that's, I think that's kind of it. Oh, I wonder something. Hold on. If I hit rage. No, it doesn't. Okay. Roll a D3. I got a D3 right here. Wait, what's the third option? Although I bought weird dice the other day for the game I was talking about a couple weeks ago on something because it uses weird dice, and I know that there was some manner of controversy about the D3 in Tasha's guide, but it's just the D6.5. Like even the company that makes weird dice, it's just a D6 with 1 to 3 on it twice. I got 1. And this is actually what I was rolling on Task Force Unlikely too. I was for the mecha, if it would activate or not, and I kept rolling 1s, and I was like, well, I guess this mecha's not going anywhere. Here, let me roll this D5. I got 2. Sorry, Soup. Oh, I'm sorry. This is a D7. She was saying it for the memes. Yeah, it's not like it's a D16, But even then, you just roll a d8 and roll a d. Then you roll a d6 and a d8. Evens on the d6. You add 10. You can use regular dice for weird dice, but I think why people are actually upset isn't because they're weird dice. It's because they don't. It's because people, or not that they're hard to use, because a D3 is just a D6, halved. But the people don't have a D3 because people are too obsessed with their dice. I kind of think that's what it is. Well, I want to be able to roll a D3. Then you can buy them. Yeah, it's not like they ask you to roll a D30. Anyway, that's my little thoughts on D3s. I don't think it's that weird. D3s, yeah. Anyway. I think that's about it. A little bit of a shorter episode, but that pairs well with the longer episode from last time. If anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, let me know before I start, and I'll address them before I totally wrap it up. But I am excited. I'm really excited. We're going to be playing this, like I said, an upcoming Sunday. I believe it's the first Sunday in December. We're going to have a session 0 in the morning. It might be a session 0 and a session 0.5 or a brief session 1, depending on how long we talk about characters and stuff like that. I mean, I'm ready. Everyone has characters built. I think we're all waiting on some personality stuff and stuff like that. And it's going to be great. It's just going to be so much fun. And Garrett is a great dungeon master. And actually, I mentioned Sarek on my last stream, on the last one of this. And Sarek was the lizard man I played in Garrett's Rapid Athic game. And I only got to play in a couple episodes, but it was so fun. And I love that weird lizard man. And I'm excited to play a weird lion man. I typically play sweet weirdos. So we'll see. Maybe I'll try and do less sweet. Still probably weird. I think I've decided he'll probably be a bit of a fuck around and find out kind of guy. And he likes soup because my cat is on a soup phase. I ate soup a couple times and he's like, yeah, soup. I'm like, it doesn't even have meat in it. Like, what do you want this? Let's see. Soup says she thinks that's entirely it about the dice. Marty, yeah, don't they sell D6s that are just 1 to 3 twice? They do. Hold on, this flattery will not save you, says Garrett. Yeah, see, I have this guy. It's just 1 to 3 twice. So a D6. Which, hold on. Let me show you what some of the weirder, like this is a D7, and it's just very oddly shaped, and the numbers are not fully on like consistent sides. It's very odd. But you can also just roll a D14 and divide it by 2. Let's see. That's that. Marty says, full over the hump excited. It went from conceptually on the horizon to can't get here soon enough. Liz also excited. Soup says she's super excited. And it's real unfortunate that she has to go now. Garrett says this flattery will not save you. I jest. I don't expect it to. I expect to be as challenging as it is. I don't know anything about this. It might be very difficult. It might be kind of meant to be. You were very heroic, and you overcome all these odds, but man, people die all the time in Greek myths and stuff. Oh, Garrett, not you too. Okay, great. Thank you everyone for hanging out in chat. This was very fun. I hope it was somewhat watchable for folks after the fact who can't see chat. I know it was a lot of me kind of reading stuff, then responding to chat, reading stuff. But you know what? It's my show. So do what I want. If you didn't like it, watch it again, I guess. It was probably good. Let's see. This week, we're approaching the end of the year, which means soon we will go on our little winter break and return refreshed in the new year. So let's see. This week is Star Chasers on Wednesday. Next week, Star Wars, Galaxy and Revolt, last episode of the year, is on Monday. Task Force Unlikely is on Wednesday. And Odyssey of the Dragonlords is on Sunday. Next Sunday, the 6th. And then we'll be into the final week of the year for us, I think. Not the final week of 2020, because that will never come, probably. I hope everyone has a nice time. If you are traveling for Thanksgiving, please be safe. Please wear a mask if you can. I know it's not fun, especially on a holiday where you want to see your friends and family and eat, but please just stay safe. We've gotten so far through this together. We can keep doing it. But the cases keep going up and we need to remain vigilant. If you aren't traveling for Thanksgiving, if you aren't doing your normal plans, it's going to be okay. I know it's a real bummer. I know it's not fun, but it's 1 year and it's for the safety of everyone. And that's good. So, forge a new tradition this year. Do something fun with the people in your family or your pets, in your immediate family. If you are going out on Black Friday, please be careful. Every year I say that, but, Marty said, or at least said, good job. Thank you. Soup says it's not a stream if I'm not told to leave at least once, especially an Andy Makes a Friend. Always deserved for your pun crimes. And Marty said I had to cancel in-person Thanksgiving, and it's my only favorite holiday. If I can, you can too. Krista and I also canceled our in-person Thanksgiving this year. It was difficult, but we're going to get through it. Krista got herself an 18-pound turkey that she is going to eat by herself, because I am a vegetarian. And she has already said that she's going to have to share it with someone, because the store was out of a more reasonably weighted turkey. But yeah, it real sucks. It really sucks. I don't particularly care about Thanksgiving because it's a bunch of food I can't eat. And I don't have to travel terribly far for, to see my family. So it's just a slightly different family dinner to me, but I understand that it's not the case for everyone. People travel, obviously it's the biggest travel holiday of the year. Or one of, I assume that, and Christmas, but, and yeah, lots of people love it, and that it sucks, but we're going to be able to get through it. And hopefully we can figure out something for Christmas, because boy, do I not want to have to skip Christmas. I'd figure out something safe. That's it. This has been a rambly outro, but that's okay. Once again, it's my show. Do whatever I want. I can never leave. Then what? Then what are you going to do? You're going to have to watch this forever. Please don't leave. Leave a like or a subscribe. If you have Amazon Prime, do that too. You can get a free Twitch gamer, Amazon gamer subscription or whatever. It's slightly complicated, but not that hard. Follow us on YouTube, Twitter, all that jazz. Have a great night, everyone, and a safe holiday. And I meant to say this. I wrote it down even. This year, I am thankful for all of my friends, my family, everyone I know staying safe during this pandemic and difficult times of 2020, and for all of my friends in the Laughing Dragon Inn. These streams have been an absolute bright spot in the year of 2020. So I am very, very thankful for all of you. And that is it. Then I free you all from my trap card. Have a great night, everyone.